I started scripting out this video yesterday and I got really emotional. It was Thanksgiving. I was in my house alone. And today, some 4 years later, it's okay. And what I wanted to do today is really share my journey back to YouTube, reviving a dead channel. I mean, is it even possible? We'll see. Is it even possible to revive a channel that's been left dead for more than 4 years? A channel that at one point was driving as much as 26,000 views a day, but now struggles to get maybe 200 views a day? I mean, when I see this, I just feel sad. And I started to create and script this video yesterday, and I got really emotional. It was Thanksgiving. I'm in my home alone, and I'm in a good space today, but it's still challenging. And I wanted to make this video because it's an important video for anybody that's on YouTube, for anybody that has a desire to create something that matters, for anybody that has the willingness to move forward and publish. Now, to this point thus far, because this ain't over, but it was 2019 when I was at my high point, and I had uploaded some 500-600 videos. I was fairly consistent, plenty consistent to grow a channel, because when we talk about consistency, the only thing that truly matters is how often you publish a video that deeply connects with an audience and drives significant views. If you publish one video a month, but that video does incredibly well, that's plenty. And not only was I driving views I couldn't really believe, but I also was really making incredible decisions that allowed me to drive those views. For example, I remember there was a video that was really about the terms and the policies concerning kids on YouTube. And I knew this is number one, it's a great opportunity to do a collab. Number two, it's a great opportunity to capitalize on trending topics. And the reason for the collab was it would allow me to pull in more authority, creating a video that would ultimately give my viewers exactly the information they're looking for. And during this point, I was firing on all cylinders, publishing videos based on trending topics, and knowing the best way to move forward would be to do a collaboration to pull in authority and really deliver on something that my audience would really dig. And you know what? They did. And publishing docu-style videos where I dug deep and went into why some channels blow up while others don't. And all of it was working. And I remember meeting up in Venice Beach with my YouTuber friends to film my silver play button video. Again, it was just a magical time. And on top of that, I had the perfect marriage. My wife and I, we had just built our custom dream home 1,000 feet above Colorado Springs, overlooking Pikes Peak, minutes away from Garden of the Gods. Again, absolutely incredible. We both had rewarding careers, made incredible money. We traveled the world. And of course, we had Otis and Olive, 2 poodles, and they're hungry. You dig? Or at least that's how things might have appeared. At the time I was on this YouTube high, literally within weeks, my wife packed her bags, came out of the bedroom, suitcase in hand, and she left. And my life as I know it absolutely crumbled at that time. And the idea of publishing videos, I just couldn't find the courage or I could not make it happen. But Maslow, he slapped me in the face with his hierarchy of needs, which is basically like the foundational elements that a human being has to have in place in order to ascend and live a good life. So at the bottom of the pyramid are things like food, water, shelter, etc. And then it's safety, like where do I live? Do I have money? Do I have food on the table? All of these things really create, again, the foundation. And you know what? Like, I didn't know where I was going to live. I didn't know about money. We had plenty, but like my wife managed the money. She was kind of the business person. I was the creative one. And we both, again, it doesn't mean I didn't make plenty of money. I did. But these were the things that really just crushed me. And when I look at this hierarchy of needs, like next is love and belonging, and I didn't belong. I don't have kids. I didn't have a wife. Otis passed away during this time. We discovered he had cancer. I got incredibly sick during this time. It was just one thing after another. And again, I don't want to make this a poor woe is me. I just want to create a true deep story about the possibility of coming back when a channel has flatlined. I mean, 4 years. When I hear YouTubers talking about taking a break for a week, I mean, that's normalcy. I mean, I would take a break for a month, no problem. So the wife and I, ex-wife now, we tried for about a year. It didn't work. Nothing worked. We went to multiple counselors and therapists, and one of them said, you know, I can't help you guys, go somewhere else. And eventually it was game over. And at that point, it was actually the point of things getting better, but I still had a lot of struggle to go through. And I focused on dating and connections and belonging and meeting with friends and hanging out. And I picked up 2 things. Number 1, I went roller skating, which was absolutely amazing. For 3 months, that's what I did. Again, it was fun because it was a social connection, and I really needed that. And then 2, I picked up my camera, and I'd been having cameras in my hand forever, only I took it to an entirely new place. And during this time, I knew that eventually I had to figure out how to make money. Again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, truth be told, I have plenty of money in the bank, but I don't want to be 78 years old with nothing. And furthermore, I need something fulfilling. I need a big mountain to climb. I want to know how far I can go. And if you want to grow on YouTube, what I just said is the key. And I want to, again, we're going to really dive in deep into how to crush YouTube no matter what. Your channel's dead, how to revive it, whether you've never hit a high point and you can't make it work. Keep watching. And around this time, I had launched another channel on photography. And again, here's another secret. The only thing I really tried to do was enjoy myself. I chose a niche I was really passionate about. I wasn't trying to find the very best niche based on CPMs or trending topics. I've never been one to do that. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's not me. I focus on what drives me, what motivates and moves me, and I love photography. So I started going out so often with a macro lens and creating photos of bees. I don't know why, but I think bees are incredibly beautiful. And wasps are sort of beautiful, but also slightly terrifying. But regardless, I made content in some of those videos on a brand new channel with not a lot of subscribers. They blew up, and today they have 20,000, 30,000 views. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't really focused that much on it. This was just for fun, and somehow I was making it happen. And that was my why. My why was photography for me. And one of the things you'll hear often is that you have to have a why when it comes to why you're creating a channel. And I gotta be honest with you, I think wanting to grow and get views is sort of enough, as long as you just add one thing, and we're gonna talk about what that is. For me at the time, my why was because when I'm outdoors with my camera, it gives me a sense of peace. It gives me a sense of something to do, some adventure, and it was just a great, healthy escape. Now, if you're not sure what your why is, one of the things I would say is consider this. Instead of being focused so much on that next one video, which you're gonna do regardless. I think it's really hard to let go of wanting to get views. Every YouTuber on the planet wants to get views, or they're lying. But just add one thing. Instead of that one video, see how far you can go. If you start thinking about YouTube as I want to see how far I can go as a YouTuber, well, number one, you're on a journey where there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And you're going to give yourself enough time to gain the skills and abilities to make it happen. And it takes the pressure off. And furthermore, I think when you do this, you can look at other channels and you can think about this. Well, what was their journey like? And time again, what you're gonna see is big channels go through this process where they don't get views and then they do. And sure, if you want to find the one channel that totally blows up with 3 videos or 12, you can do that. But that is a rarity. That's a unicorn. And instead, why not look at the reality of most YouTubers on the platform publish typically dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of videos before they make it happen. So with this channel I launched, I didn't have a profile picture. I didn't have a channel banner. I didn't care about any of that stuff. And this is one of the things that drove me crazy about this niche. You can't pin a comment with your video and grow a substantial channel. Like that's a very tactical strategy that can help you increase your views by a small percentage. But if you don't have in place what's most important, that kind of thing, end screens, YouTube tags, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? YouTube tags, I've seen 2 YouTubers. It's almost 2024 that are talking about YouTube tags. I may make a video because they'll never be the thing that'll allow you to get a lot of views. You know, so I think it's so important to really focus and honor the thing that can dramatically turn your channel around. Revive it from the dead. Kickstart it if you're just getting started. And that's creating a sticky video, a video that keeps viewers watching. That's YouTube's language. Because if you don't do that, you can't grow. Thumbnails and titles. I just, like, you hear it so often, thumbnail and title, thumbnail. It doesn't grow channels. If you can't keep viewers watching, you'll never grow a channel. So that's the only thing I focused on. I just make videos on my little channel. I'm not too worried about the views and subscribers. Sure, I want them, but you know, whatever. And I grew, and it worked. And you know, those early videos that I published are my top performing videos today. And now I've published some additional videos on things like the cameras I've used, lenses that I've bought, my experience with wildlife photography, and I just keep moving forward because YouTube's success is a journey. And that is how you revive a dying channel or a dead channel. And around this time, I started road tripping with my girlfriend and we went all over the place. Forrest Gump Point in Utah, Jeep rides through hidden locations in Colorado, Yellowstone National Park, the hot air balloon fiesta weeks later. We had a ball, and along the way was my camera, my girl, and I had that sense of belonging. And that's slowly when the draw to create on a high level, you know what I mean? To really see how far I can go was possible. Because I had some of the stuff I hadn't had in a long time, belonging, love, support. I felt comfortable in my own house. And I knew right then it was time to come back, like for real. And I had 2 channels. I had a photography channel. I had my primary Brian G channel. Both were monetized. I started with the photography channel. That's just the lane I was in. And I published 4 videos, more than, I think, really tripling my views in a 10-day period. How? Because at that point, I started like getting ninja. I started drawing on all the experience I had, and I made some moves, and it worked because I understand this stuff. Whether you believe or not, that's none of my business. But I knew exactly what to do, and it worked. And at the same time, I just started really thinking and pondering, like, which way do I go? There's a fork in the road, and I need to choose the best path forward to make money, to have something that's fulfilling, to do something that I'm going to enjoy, and furthermore, something that makes sense. And I didn't see myself sleeping in a tent for 13 days straight to film a fox coming out of a den eating hydrated food. Not going to happen. I did see myself coming back to YouTube, and with my first video back, I was absolutely blown away. Within minutes, I had hundreds of views. I hadn't published a video in over 200 and some days, like 8 or 9 months, and yet hundreds of views within minutes. And this is what I want to tell you. When you focus on delivering for an audience, when you stay in your lane close enough, because it's really hard as a YouTuber with a creative mind, which is all of us, right? But I did close enough. I published so many videos on getting views, growing the audience, the algorithm, documentary style, and more. And I was back. And within 48 hours, I had over 2,000 views. I had solid watch time. And while I didn't miss a beat, I took time off, but I didn't miss a beat. A few days later, I uploaded again, and then the reality of how hard YouTube is smacked me, because that video, it was like a 10 out of 10, and that's where I'm at right now. And yet somehow, days later, I published another video, 16,000 views. I had taken the ceiling that I was capped at, which is around 2,000 views in the first 72 hours, and I blew it out of the water. And one of the things that I did that I want to just encourage you to consider is that I honor where I'm at right now on my journey as a YouTuber with a channel that hasn't been consistent for 4 years. I can't go back in time. It's hard, but I can't say, oh, I used to drive 26,000 views a day. The algorithm is after me. I haven't put in the work. I haven't earned that kind of result, and I'm willing to do that today. That's why I'm filming this video. That's why I've been live streaming. That's why my studio is taking shape like I wanted it to years ago. Another thing I did was I got with my pals. I had a chat with Nick Nimmin, and he said, hey man, I know how you are. You go really hard and then you don't do much for a while. And typically, like when I started, I actually went 56 days in a row and it tripled my views. Like when I was done, I was driving 2,000 to 3,000 views every single day. It was incredible. And I never dropped below that. But at the same time, like those days are over. I can't go daily. It doesn't make sense, furthermore, for where I'm at. So what I've been doing is I've been making videos and working hard, but I'm only publishing maybe every 5 days. I think there was one day where it was an 8-day period, but I was building out videos, scripting, and furthermore, I went through this transformation that I know all YouTubers go through. YouTubers that succeed on a high level, all of them go through this transformational period where in the beginning it's exciting, it's kinetic, it's fun, we're gonna blow up, I can't wait to do this and have a community. How do I get a community? How do I get comments? Listen, by focusing on crafting and creating a video that connects with human beings, specific people, viewers on YouTube that are looking for the kind of content you want to make. That's how you grow. And to do that, you have to first fail. You have to come in, have that excitement, publish some videos, and then see the reality. And then you need to slow down enough to start studying. You have to pay attention. You need to research. You need to learn how to craft thumbnails. You have to learn how to edit your videos. You have to do all these things. And to do that, you need to step away and process and think and understand what's the best move coming up. And that's kind of the process I went through too. It's like I was excited to come back. I was kind of spazzy. And then I slowed down and I said, let's start getting really dialed in like I was in 2019. And that's where I'm at today. And this video is a good example. And honestly, this is probably not the video that's going to blow up, but I don't know. What I do know is I'm planning it out. I've got a bunch of videos on deck. And I do know I have the ability. And furthermore, this is an important story and video in my library. There will be people that want to, what happened to this guy? So I had that conversation with Nick and he's like, catalog those videos. And right now I've got 2 ready to publish at any time. I just need 2 thumbnails. I've got people helping me with thumbnails. I have people helping me with video editing. I'm editing my own videos. I'm really focused, laser focused, which I haven't been in so long. And that is how to grow a channel. It's not what people want to hear, but I'm not going to pander to an audience. I feel very different than I did when I started. I have nothing to prove. I mean, fact of the matter is less than 1% of YouTubers who ever publish will hold, because why is it dusty? This is I mean, fact of the matter is less than 1% of the YouTubers who publish will ever hold a silver play button. That's not bragging. It's not bragging. I earned this. And whether you think I'm washed up, again, it's like, yeah, you know what? Honestly, it hurts my feelings. It makes me feel bad. But at the same time, like these haters, I tell you what. Anyway, so that's what I want to do. I want to make the next series of videos on my channel. I want to see how far I can go. And I want to share that journey with you and take you along with me. If that sounds like something you're into, consider subscribing. Hit the like button. Do all the things. Because what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt is YouTube is really hard. YouTube is by far the most challenging platform I have ever focused on. And yet I made it happen, and so can you. And you know, the other thing I want to say is, like, if you're struggling with the reality of where you're at, the more you can just say, hey, again, this is my journey. This is my experience. I'm not Nick Nimmin, because that's what I did when I started. Me and Nick, you know, we're both like, hey, what's happening? I'm new to YouTube. We both had about 2,000 subscribers. And now he's on the, you know, he's just past 900,000. That's his journey. I'm happy for him. He's my friend. We're pals. Does that diminish the value that I bring to this platform? I don't think so. I think there are people that really appreciate what I do. And again, at the end of the day, it's really none of my business. My business is to identify this thing that I think about as my audience, which comprises people I know and spend time with and they watch. And yet I'll never fully understand what this audience is. But by studying, by researching, by pooling all together the knowledge that's available on YouTube, just maybe I can publish a video that eclipses what I've already done. 1.9 million views on this video, or the video I'm most proud of, which is this video with a horrible thumbnail. But it's not the aesthetics that matter. It's not a visually beautiful thumbnail that matters. What matters is the messaging that is created between a thumbnail and a video title. And this particular video title and thumbnail accomplished what needs to be done. Viewers watch that video for 10 minutes. Are you kidding? 10-minute average view duration across hundreds of thousands of views in just the first 100 days? So imagine all the non-subscribers who watched, and yet they still watched for nearly 10 minutes. Incredible. And I was able to do that because I worked for it, and I'm ready to do that now. So is it possible to revive a dying channel? Absolutely. I believe it is 100% possible as long as you want it badly enough. So that's my question for you. How bad do you want it? Man, I was so emotional when I started writing out the script for this video yesterday. I think I mentioned this. It was like Thanksgiving. And, you know, it brought up a lot of sad, scary, ugly things on a big holiday. Who doesn't love the holidays in the States, you know? Thanksgiving. And I was just so choked up. I feel better today, and I have mostly good days. And I'm just excited, and I want good things for you. The first step is believing you can make it happen, and I know you can. So let's do this. Let's absolutely crush YouTube. Let's move forward. stake our claim, and amplify our message. Again, if you dug this video, check out these videos on the screen now. Do that and you'll feed a poodle. Not only do I have 2 poodles, one in heaven, one here on this mortal earth, they're hungry. You dig?